It's Pride Month story time.
Hi everyone, my name is Sister Jareth, and I'm going to read to you a story today. It's called Sylvia and Marsha Start a Revolution, and it is written by Joy Michael Ellison, and it's illustrated by Teshika Silver. Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson weren't just friends. They were as close as sisters. Strolling arm in arm down Christopher Street, they looked magnificent. "Sylvia," Marsha cried, "see that girl over there? She looks hungry. Give her $1. "Marsha," said Sylvia, "that's all our money. How will we eat?" Marsha smiled. "Us? We'll be fine, honey."
Here you could see them strolling down the street. Look at that. And here you could see that they find someone that's in need and they try to help.
"It's not right for these kids to be sleeping on the street," said Sylvia. She remembered what her grandma said when Sylvia wore a dress for the first time. Sylvia had finally felt free, but her grandma frowned. "You're a boy. Act like it." Sylvia knew that she could only act like herself. Sylvia, like Marsha, was a transgender girl. People thought she was a boy, but she knew differently. She hated seeing other transgender girls suffer for just wanting to be themselves too. "We've got to do something for girls like us," she told Marsha. "That's a man in a dress," a woman shouted and pointed. "Look at me," Marsha said, twirling. "I'm not a man. I'm a woman and I always have been." And Sylvia laughed.
Here is Sylvia remembering when her grandma told her that she was a boy, but she wasn't a boy. Here you could see the woman that was pointing at Marsha saying that she was a man in a dress, but Marsha just danced.
Marsha heard a call. "Here comes Ellison in the blue dress." "Oh no," thought Marsha. "That's code for the cops coming." Police could arrest transgender girls for wearing dresses. She grabbed Sylvia's hand and they ran. Sylvia panted. "Are you okay?" "Honey, I'm tired of being treated so bad," said Marsha. Sylvia sighed. "Someday girls like us will be able to wear whatever we want. People will call us by the names that we choose. They'll respect that we are women. The cops will leave us alone and no one will go hungry." Sylvia and Marsha talked and talked about making life better for themselves and their sisters. Then, on June 28th, 1969, they took action.
Saying that Alice in the blue dress was coming was telling people that the police were on their way. Sylvia and Marsha were just so sick of them being treated this way that they needed to do something about it.
Sylvia burst into the Stonewall Inn. "Happy birthday, Marsha!" "Oh, thanks, honey," Marsha laughed. They grooved on the dance floor until Marsha heard another voice call. "Here comes Alice in the blue dress." "Oh no," she thought, "it's the cops again."
It's Marsha's birthday, and they're celebrating at the Stonewall Inn. They were having such a great time, and then the police arrived.
"That is a man in a dress." A policeman sneered at Marsha. "Show me your ID or I'll arrest you." "Not on my birthday," said Marsha. The police ordered everyone into the street and began making arrests. "Come on," Marsha yelled. The two friends rushed towards a police van.
Marsha was having such a good time, she didn't want anything to ruin her birthday. You could see all the police making arrests, but Sylvia and Marsha knew what they were going to do.
They pushed past the officers, broke open the van door, dragged out their friends, and set them free. The revolution, shouted Sylvia. It's beautiful.
Marsha, Sylvia, and all their friends are in the streets celebrating the revolution.
The next day, everyone on Christopher Street was talking about the Stonewall Revolution. Sylvia and Marsha strode with pride like two lionesses until they heard the call. Hey, here comes Alice in the blue dress.
Now everyone knew Sylvia and Marsha and would talk about them on the streets. And yet police were still out on the streets bothering people.
Look at these children with no homes, running from the cops. Sylvia shook her head. We still got to do something for them. Marsha frowned. We're just two friends trying to survive ourselves. Sylvia said, we'll give them what we got. Friendship. Let's get a house and open it up to all the young sisters living on the streets. And it happened. Young transgender girls came from miles around to live with Sylvia and Marsha. Together they took care of each other. They ate together, they laughed together, and they struggled together. They became a family.
Sylvia and Marsha knew that they needed to take action. Sometimes, like Sylvia and Marsha, you need to make your own family.
Sylvia and Marsha spent their lives fighting for the survival and the rights of transgender people. Through it all, they were best friends. Their memory shines like a star, showing us that with our friends, we could change the world.
And that is the story of how Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson started a revolution. Here's a cute cartoon drawing of what the Stonewall Inn looks like. It's still there in New York City. You can be like Sylvia and Marsha by sharing what you have and by demanding justice for everyone. You and your friends can start a revolution too. Here's a little bit more about Sylvia and Marsha in case you want to learn. Marsha Payette No Mind Johnson was born on August 24th, 1945. She was a Black transgender woman. Even though Marsha had very little, she always gave her money and food to other transgender people who needed help. She loved to make crowns out of flowers. She wrote poems and sang in a group called the Hot Peaches. Sylvia Rivera was born July 2nd, 1951. She was a Puerto Rican American transgender woman. When Sylvia was 11 years old, she became homeless. She met Marsha in 1963 on Halloween night. Marsha fed her and kept her safe. Together, they dreamed of doing something to make their lives better and change the world for other transgender people. They started a group called Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, also known as STAR, to help other transgender girls like them. Sylvia and Marsha were kind, generous, smart, and very brave. They weren't afraid to be themselves, and they weren't afraid to tell the truth, even when it made their own friends angry. That made some people afraid of them, but Sylvia and Marsha always stuck together and supported each other.